Hey everybody, it's Mike. It's Friday, April 1st, 2022, and it is April Fool's Day. And I have a follow-up to yesterday's video. But before I get to the follow-ups, I want to talk a little bit about why I released my big presentation on April 1st, 2020, which was April Fool's Day. And I took a look at the view count this morning between my Paul is Dead channel and my main channel, and the presentation has over 145,000 views. Now, I knew when I uploaded the video 2 years ago on April Fool's Day that many people would not understand why I did that. So, what is the true meaning of April Fool's Day? The true symbolic meaning of April Fool's is renewal and the birth of new beginnings. And what were the Beatles? A renewal and the birth of new beginnings as it pertains to a new age. And if we take a look at the tarot deck, and specifically the Fool card, which I have said represents Billy, Billy is the Fool on the hill. The Fool represents new beginnings, having faith in the future, being inexperienced, not knowing what to expect, having beginner's luck, improvisation, and believing in the universe. So I would argue that when Billy took over the role of Paul McCartney, he took the Beatles out of the early period, the love songs, 1962 through 1966, and he brought forth a new era, new beginnings, with the release of Sgt. Pepper, and of course Sgt. Pepper led us into the psychedelic era. And to do this, Billy had to have faith in the future. He had to believe that when he made the decision to go forth and to take on the role, he had to have faith that it would work out. And he was inexperienced from the standpoint of taking on this role. He was taking on a character that he would have to play for the rest of his life. And as he mentions in memoirs, in the beginning, he did not know what to expect. In fact, he was very concerned about being found out. So he had to have some level of luck involved, even though the entire operation was being managed and controlled at the highest levels. And by playing the role, he had to improvise. He had to evolve into the role of being Paul McCartney. And to do this, he had to believe in the universe, however you want to define, quote, the universe within the context of Billy. We can call it the controllers. We can say it is his Luciferian philosophies. And this is why I have said that Billy represents the Fool card of the tarot deck, and therefore Billy is the Fool on the hill. And there have been many interpretations about what the song Fool on the Hill means, but from my perspective, Billy is telling us he is playing the role of the fool, which is not to say that somebody is foolish, that somebody is not intelligent or not smart. Remember, the Fool represents renewal and the birth of new beginnings. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out because, like I said, when I did release the presentation back on April 1st, 2020, there were people that really didn't understand why I did that. But the reason I uploaded on April Fool's Day is because I knew Billy would know what it meant. Okay, so let's move to the next slide. Okay, so synchronicity is very real. Yesterday when I did my video, I talked a bit about why the controllers are recognizing Billy for his efforts in support of their agenda. And I refer to it as his ticker tape parade. And yesterday there was a comment that somebody left, and there was a link to an article in the Metro, and the title of the article, Sir Paul McCartney being considered for a peerage and could become a lord as he marks his 80th birthday. And of course, Billy's 85, so the 80th represents Bio Paul's birthday. So as of right now, he's Sir Billy, or Sir Paul to those that are not in the know. And it appears that he's going to become Lord Billy. And so from the article, as the Beatles icon prepares to mark his 80th birthday, it has been said he's being considered for a peerage or a title of nobility within Britain. Sir Paul was first awarded a knighthood by the Queen 25 years ago, and 5 years ago it was upgraded to the Order of the Companions of Honor. So, again, this is Billy's ticker tape parade. They're going to rain all kinds of praise on him. They're going to make sure that he goes out in a blaze of glory. A source told The Sun, Paul is already in an extraordinarily exclusive set of people at the very top of the honor system. There is now quiet talk among officials about how to mark his 80th with something truly special. The idea of offering him the chance to sit as a crossbencher in the Lords has been mooted. So there you go. Now he's going to be, like I said, Lord Billy. Now I know that there are those in the Paul is Dead community that have been clamoring for years that he's going down, he's going to be arrested and all that stuff. And on the other hand, I have been saying that was all nonsense. That was never going to happen. And that's because that's not what the system does. The system recognizes those who have significantly contributed to pushing the controller's agenda forward. And so what I've been saying ever since the beginning, when I got into the Paul is Dead research, going back to 2016, is exactly what's playing out. He's being rewarded. And so let's move to the next slide, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Glastonbury dates and the associated numbers. Now, yesterday when I talked about Glastonbury, I did not include this analysis. But what I want to show you is how planned out all of this is. And if you still believe that this is coincidence, then I don't know what to tell you, because it's not. It's all planned, it's all scripted, it's all occulted. So we know that the Glastonbury Festival kicks off on June 22nd, 2022. And as I mentioned yesterday, that reduces to the number 7. The next day, June 23rd, reduces to the number 8. The third day reduces to the number 9. The fourth day reduces to the number 10. This is the day that Billy is going to perform. And remember, I said that the reason why Billy is performing on June 25th, 2022 on the pyramid stage in Glastonbury is because it reduces to the number 10. And the number 10 represents completion and new beginnings. Billy is using this number more and more now because he is reaching the end of his runway. He's wrapping things up. He's concluding. And that's the reason why Billy is being recognized at the rate and pace that he is for his contributions to the controller's agenda. And then if we go to the last day of the festival, June 26, 2022, that reduces to 11. So the sum of all of the numbers in the right-hand column between June 22nd and June 26th is 45. And of course, 4 plus 5 equals 9. And 9 represents change, transformation, and endings. So what they're telling us with Glastonbury, along with many other events that they hold, is the old age, the old way of doing things, the old cultures and societies. They're out. And we're moving forward with a new age. And this, of course, maps to what we're hearing out of the World Economic Forum with the Great Reset and all of that stuff. So I'm hoping that for those who are on the fence, who think that numbers don't mean anything, that the reality is not controlled by occultists, that you'll start to wake up and see that when we break it down, these types of things are not happenstance. They are not coincidence. Everything is planned. Everything is mapped out. Okay? All right, let's move to the last slide. Okay, with this chart, I'm going to play a clip from a recent interview that Billy did on the Mark Maron podcast. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. So this interview goes back to last month in March. And the interview starts off with Mark asking Billy about the benefits of being knighted. And Billy responds, "It means I can drive a flock of sheep through the city of London." I kid you not. So let's take a listen.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Woo! Ooh, ooh.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Mark.
Sir Paul McCartney.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Now, being a knight,
Yeah.
what does that enable you to do? Like, can you go to the British Museum and take out armor?
No, but I can drive a herd of sheep through the city of London.
That really?
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
Well, what it is, they give you the freedom. It's slightly different. They give you the freedom of the city.
Yeah.
And my daughter, Stella, said, what is it? Did you get anything? I said, I don't know. I got to think. I don't know. So she looked it up.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, it is. I am entitled to drive a flock of sheep through the city of London.
I'm surprised Capital didn't think of that for a publicity thing.
This time.
Okay, so there you go. A very strange conversation. So, Billy is a shepherd. Billy Shepherd. Thus, Billy Shears. Shears. Shepherd. And Sally's going to get into a lot more detail, but this all ties into Pan. Pan was the god of fertility and the special patron of shepherds and huntsmen. Pan was the inventor of a musical instrument called the panpipes, and Billy is a wind instrument player, and we can see this when he plays his Vivian Stanshall character. We can also see this when we take a look at the Sgt. Pepper album cover. Take a look at the instruments that all of the Beatles are holding. They are wind instruments. Pan was a great musician, and everybody admired his playing. Pan is linked to the Pied Piper and Peter Pan. The Pan character leads children into a magical world, the New Age. Okay, so I will leave you with that. Food for thought. Like I said, Sally and I at some point are going to put a full-blown presentation together dealing with Pan, and we will get a much better understanding at that point. The comment section is open. Let me know what you think, and we will talk soon.